Hi, Namaste. Good morning. Welcome to another episode today. Today we'll talk about a very important topic, and which is hormone imbalance, and how and what leads to this imbalance, and what are the simple lifestyle habits that we can adopt to control this. Now, what are hormones? Hormones are chemical messengers which are released in our body through certain glands: hypothalamus, pituitary, thyroid, adrenal, and gonadal. Now, these are messengers which travel between cells, between within the cell and between the body. Okay, and these travel in the body through our blood. Now, these hormones are messengers which are released in response to our actions and reactions. So, whether it is through our food, whether it is through our environment, whether through our stress, emotion, thoughts. So, these hormones are communicating channels within our body. Now, if our thoughts, emotions, food, environment is not right, the hormones will be imbalanced. Or if our dietary choices are wrong, the hormones will be imbalanced. Now, when this is imbalanced, it is not that one hormone is imbalanced, so we can treat that. Each and everything is interconnected in our body, and we have seen this. For example, when a body releases stomach acid, okay, which is nothing but hydrochloric acid, in response to the food that we are eating, it also releases bicarbonate, because it wants to balance whatever acidic nature of food that we are eating, or the food that we're digesting. It is balancing it through the bicarbonate. Similarly, when a body makes estrogen, okay, as a hormone, it also makes progesterone. Now, progesterone's main work is to balance what the estrogen is acting on. What happens is, after menopause, production of estrogen, of progesterone, is stopped, because that is made in ovaries. So when you don't ovulate, you are not fertile. Progesterone levels are not, progesterone is not made. When progesterone is not made, what we have is estrogen being made in not only in ovaries, but also in hypothalamus. Okay, so estrogen is being continuously being made and in adrenal glands, and we have an imbalance in the body. So it's not that we are low on progesterone, we are low on estrogen or high on estrogen. It is just that estrogen is little dominant or indominant. Now, hormones are very, very small glands which are releasing these hormones in the body. They are released in very small quantity, and hence it is also measured in pico units. Okay, not in liters or milliliters. It is measured in pico, which is a very smallest form of measurement. This means they are very, very potent. So that means if there is some imbalance, the cascading effect of it will be very, very high. Okay. Now, what happens is, why do we have imbalance in our hormones? Our imbalance is basically when we are following a lifestyle which is not conducive for our body. For example, if we eat high sugar diet, sugar through processed carbohydrates, sugar through artificial additive sugars like high fructose corn syrup, sucrose, dextrose, maltose, or normal refined sugar. When we eat high sugar diet, our body's blood sugar is always on the rise. When the blood sugar is on the rise, there is more insulin required for body to handle and bring this sugar level down. When there is constant high insulin and there is stress in the body, emotional versus and physical imbalance, this leads to insulation in our body. That means our body's ability to fight insulin and bring it down goes down. Okay. When that happens, we get we have issues like diabetes, we have high blood sugar, and we have issues where progesterone is produced less. When it is produced less, estrogen level goes up. Okay, and that leads to, for example, that leads to infertility, ovulation not happening. So if I go to a doctor and say that there is a PCOS problem, the doctor will say, all you need to do is take more of progesterone pills. But progesterone pill is not the answer. The answer is to look at your blood sugar and look at your high insulin diet. So if you go back and fix your high insulin diet, you'll be able to fix your the PCOS problem. Weight loss is another issue. Now, hormones, what happens is hormones are released, they do their work, and the life is ended. Okay, and then they have to be excreted out of the body. Now, if this process is not managed properly, that's where you'll have imbalance. Now, what can lead to this imbalance? It can be because of the stress. I think the biggest and the most important thing is stress in our body. If we have any sort of stress, our body's ability to function goes down. And I'll explain you why. Whenever you have stress in a body, our body adrenal glands work harder to bring that stress down. To bring that stress down, they release what is known as cortisol. So cortisol's main effect is to bring the stress level down. But when we are in constant state of stress, more and more cortisol is pumped into our body till the time the body's ability to pump more cortisol goes down. And when that goes up, we have a constant chronic stress. Now, when we are in a state of stress, cortisol is a master hormone. So its ability to overrule any other hormone is very, very high. So that means if cortisol is high, it will overrule your thyroid function, and thyroid is a metabolic hormone. So if thyroid is being overruled by cortisol, you will not be able to have a good metabolism. So that means if metabolism is not good, even if your thyroid levels are within the range, you will have sluggish metabolism, you will have bloating, you will have GI issues, you will have constipation, you will have hot flashes, and your ability to lose weight will be low. You will have bloating, belching, you will have high belly fat, you will have hair losses. Okay, and this is very, very predominant in females. So it is not our thyroid which is the problem. It is that our stress which has led to thyroid being underused, and sluggish thyroid means sluggish metabolism. So if you want to fix thyroid, we can just go and eat Thyronorm, we can take thyroxine tablets, but that will not solve the root cause. The root cause is your stress. Focus on your stress, fix that, you will not need to fix thyroid. So always look for the root cause. Now, what happens is, if your functioning of hormones is not right, or if they are not synthesized properly, or they don't live their life the way they're supposed to live and work, then you have imbalance. Now, what can go wrong, or what are the reasons? We know that it is because of stress, it is because of lifestyle choices, it is because of the chemicals that we are exposed to. Chemicals in terms of preservatives, chemical in terms of additives, chemical in terms of pesticide, chemical in terms of herbicides. Okay. More than that, the chemical that we are putting on our skin. On an average, a female puts close to 29 different chemicals per day when they step out, before they step out of the house, when they're doing any sort of makeup or any type of cosmetic is being applied. Now, our skin is one of the biggest organs that can do absorption. So if you look at for estrogen and progesterone hormone replacement therapy, there are 2-3 ways. One is you give tablets, one is you put sublingual, you put the drop under your tongue, and the third is you apply a cream on your body. Now, this is applied because it gets absorbed. Similarly to the way castor oil gets absorbed in our body when we apply it for a lot of things. So it is very important to be very, very cautious about what you're putting. Okay, our body treats medicine as toxin. Okay, and it reacts differently to each and every ingredient in that medicine. Similarly, any chemical that you're putting will have some impact on your body. So always try and say, I will only put those things on my skin which I can actually eat. So if you can't eat those things, you can't put them in your mouth, don't use them on your skin. So that is about chemicals. Then is the food choices. Food choices very clearly, high refined carbohydrate, simple carbs are one of the biggest reason for all the issues that happens over a period of time in our body. So reduced simple carbs, go back to your roots, eat whole carbs, go as less processed food. So if you're eating, let's say, instant oats, okay, switch to steel cut oats. If you're eating steel cut, try and go to whole, okay, go to barley, go to wheat kernels, go for brown rice, go for hand pound rice as compared to polished rice. Go for organic food as compared to conventional food, wherever it is possible. If it is not possible, look at that you're washing them properly, you're soaking them properly so that all those, as much of chemical can be reduced. Eating apple is very good. So try and incorporate eating good quantity of apple in your diet. Second thing that you have to work, and I think that is more important than anything, is your stress. Okay, stress management is key for hormone balance. Stress management through meditation, stress management through breathing exercise, stress management through sleep. Believe me, 8 hours of sleep can solve a lot of hormone issues that medicines won't do, and stress management through exercise. So it is very, very important that we exercise. Exercise can be anything that you like: running, jogging, gym, Pilates, yoga, anything that you're doing. But the idea is to move our body, to move toxins out of our body. Third thing that you have to fix when you want to fix your metabolism or your hormones, it's your body fat. Now, thin people and fat people does not mean that you have got more fat or less fat. That's totally different composition. Check your body fat should be low. How you can do that? Go on a low insulin, low carb diet. Okay, when I say low carb, it does not promote a keto or a low carb, high fat diet. What I'm saying, low carb diet means just look at reducing processed, refined carbohydrates, refined flour, refined oil, refined sugar, refined salt. Just reduce that. Okay, replace it with whole, replace it with fresh fruits and vegetables, more salads in your diet, more fruits in your diet. Do fasting, because that controls the blood sugar. And go back to what our yogic way of eating was, which was eating once or twice a day. Same as compared to what a lot of dietitians and nutritionists write and talk about eating 3 meals or 6 meals. That's all. It's good for certain body types, but in general, that does not work. Second is, look at xenoestrogens. So what is xenoestrogens? Xenoestrogens are fake estrogens. So whatever chemicals and cosmetic that we put, they have got some estrogen samples in it. Now these are xeno. Now how hormones work? Hormones are released, they travel in the blood, and they get attached to their specific receptor. So every hormone has got its own set of receptor. When this is not available, this receptor is not available, the hormone moves freely. It does not do what it's supposed to be doing. When it does not do what it's supposed to be doing, it causes an imbalance in the body. Now, why it is not getting attached to receptor? Because of the xenoestrogen or fake or mimic estrogen mimickers, we call. They get attached to it. And this also happens when you take vitamin D supplement, because vitamin D is a pro-hormone. So high dose of vitamin D will also, or food which is fortified with vitamin D, like milk fortified with vitamin D, or cereals fortified with vitamin D. We think it's a very good option for our kids or for us to have. But what happens is, these are xeno hormones. So they come and they get attached to the receptors. Now the body's original hormone, which the body and the glands are producing, are not getting absorbed. So till the time you keep eating these food, your levels or supplements, your levels would be high or will be maintained. The moment you leave, it will be again back to where it was. Plus all the excess hormone that the body is absorbing through food and through the glands, which is releasing, are not getting absorbed. So then that becomes a problem. So look at avoiding things which says fortified with XYZ, okay, especially when it comes to vitamin D, and also about food which has got estrogen. So eating organic, cage-free non-veg is a better option than eating the conventional chicken that is available. Eating herbal eggs is better than eating the conventional eggs that you get, because we are putting a lot of estrogen injections and hormone injection into the birds to make them fat, to make them grow, so that it's readily available. Okay. Also, you have to look at is, you have to balance your progesterone. So progesterone rich foods are like dark leafy green vegetables, seeds, nuts. Okay, these help in balancing the estrogen levels. So it is not that you have to eat or take estrogen in response to PMS, in response to infertility, in response to bloating, belching, GI issues. It is because your progesterone levels are low. So fix your progesterone levels, it will balance your estrogens. Second last thing is, when the hormone has been released, it has worked and it has lived its life, it is important and high time for it to it has to be excreted out of the body. So how you can excrete it? By doing a lot of deep breathing, by ensuring that there is no constipation in your body, and by ensuring that it is sweating out. A good option in summers: sit in your car, roll up the windows, don't put your AC on and drive. The more you sweat, the better it would be. So saunas are a good option. Infrared saunas are a good option. Going out in sun, being physically active so that you sweat is a very good option to remove all the dead or overutilized hormones from the body. And last thing is work on having more aromatase inhibitors, which is work on building your immunity. Immunity through magnesium, immunity through zinc, and immunity through copper. So having water, early morning water which has been stored in a copper jug is a very good option to get copper. Zinc, you can get it through food, through nuts and seeds in a diet. Now these are immunity builders. When they are there in the body, their ability to inhibit aromatase, a chemical action in the body, is very, very high. When that happens, your imbalance of hormones is reduced. So there are simple lifestyle tips. You don't have to look at medicine. You don't have to look at Google to know. All you need to do is balance your lifestyle, have good sleep, have good food, avoid chemical exposure, ensure their stress levels are down. So 30 minutes of meditation, which includes 10 minutes of deep breathing, is something that everybody should try, especially people who feel they are in a phase of somewhere, women which are in the age group of 35 to 50, they should do these lifestyle changes. So if you fix these, you will be fixing your hormone imbalance. You don't need medicine. So have a wonderful day, everyone, and we'll catch up soon. Namaste.